Hello, we're Kent and Cheryl Ann from Chef EK and CA coming to you from our home kitchen. Today we're working in collaboration with Culinary Apple to demonstrate their Wusthof knives. And this is going to be a series of short videos in which Kent will give you some tips and tricks.
Yep, I'm going to take these knives and show you how to make some vegetable cuts and maybe teach you some ways to make your life a little easier in the kitchen with these beautiful knives. And then we're going to resolve the whole thing. At the end we're going to make Chicken Provençal. In this sixth video in our Wusthof Knife Series, we will show you how all of the ingredients processed in the previous videos came together to create this beautiful dish, Chicken Provençal. If you missed our previous videos on how to use these beautiful Wusthof knives to make your life easier in the kitchen, please click the links below in the description box. Here are some clips from the previous videos showing how we processed all the ingredients for Chicken Provençal. All of the knives used in this series are available at the Culinary Apple in downtown Chelan or at theculinaryapple.com. Our fresh garlic seasoning salts used to make this dish extra delicious are available at the Culinary Apple or at our website at chefekandca.com. I'm going to be seasoning these beautiful chicken breasts with our Chef EK and CA Super Seasoning Salt that has our fresh garlic salt in it. It's fabulously delicious. I like to do this a few hours in advance. You want to get a pretty good amount of seasoning salt on there. And I'm going to put these away in the refrigerator for about 3 to 5 hours. I'm going to be employing a sear and roast cooking method for this chicken. I like the chicken skin to be nice and crispy and the meat side of the chicken to stay tender. So we will cook this completely from start to finish on one side. We'll never flip it. So and I'll show you how we're going to do that. You want to make sure your pan is very hot. You can see that the fat is smoking, and that's perfect. You want a very serious searing action happening. The other thing you don't want to do is overload your pan. So this is, if I had 3 chicken breasts, I probably wouldn't do 3 in this pan because of the way it cools the pan down. We seared the chicken, and this is what it should look like before it goes into the oven. We're not going to flip it and sear it on the other side because we want that side to stay tender, but we just want a nice crispy skin. Now I'm going to take this whole thing and move it into a hot oven, 425 degrees. This will take about 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and make our sauce with these fresh shallots, fresh basil, garlic, tomatoes, white wine, our kick seasoning salt, olive oil, and a nice hot pan. And what we're going to do is we're going to start out with some olive oil in the pan. And this is a good part of the sauce, so a fairly significant amount of olive oil is good. And my pan's already been heating for a couple of minutes. We don't need a blazing hot pan for this like when we seared the chicken, but we do definitely want it to be sizzly. So I'm going to take the shallots, put those into the pan. I'm going to saute those just for a minute or two till they're soft and translucent. Now that the shallots have been cooking for a few minutes, I'm going to add the fresh garlic. I'm just going to warm that up a bit.
This is a very lightly cooked sauce. We want everything to maintain its integrity, its look, its freshness. It's a very fresh, light, fun sauce. Now I'm going to add a splash of white wine. We're using Prosecco today, which is an Italian sparkler. We're going to let that reduce off until it's just about dry. So our wine is getting close now. I'm just going to let it go just for a few more seconds. Great fresh garlic and shallot aromas with that wine. It smells so good. All right, now we're going to add our tomatoes. The idea with the tomatoes is just to get them warmed up. We're not really interested in cooking them down to a traditional looking tomato sauce. We just want warm, fresh, delicious tomatoes. And for them to maintain their freshness. Our sauce is looking really good. You can see we haven't cooked down the tomatoes very much, but they're warmed through and it's all sizzling hot. So what we're going to do is add a portion of the sweet basil that we had cut into the sauce and toss that around. And then we're going to season it up here with some of our Kick seasoning salt made with our fresh garlic salt. This is a delicious seasoning salt that has our fresh garlic seasoning salt, which is just pure garlic and pure kosher salt, 2 ingredients. And through our special mixing and curing process, we make this delicious salt, and then we add to it, to make kick, we add to it black pepper and Habanese chilies that we grind fresh. And then these are mixed together and it makes this beautiful spicy sauce. It's not incredibly spicy, but it does add a nice little zing, so you know you're eating some spicy food. All right, so our sauce is looking good. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna platter it up. We're going to take our chicken over to the cutting board and we're going to give that a few slices and make it look pretty. All right, we're going to move ahead and slice our chicken and prepare for dinner. So the chicken, like I said, we didn't cook it on the other side, on the meat side, because that will keep it more tender because we don't have the searing on the meat. We just have it on the skin, which protects the meat underneath. And also makes for a beautiful presentation. So the way we slice this is we slice it from the meat side to the skin side. So down on your cutting board like this. And we're going to use this beautiful Craftsman knife from Wusthof that is great for boning and slicing and chef's work. And I'm going to cut this at a bias cut, which is just an angle. And just want to be really careful when I get to the end that I'm not, really sawing hard, because I don't want the pieces I want them to stay consecutive. And you could slice this in more slices if you like, or less slices. It's up to you. And I'll do the other one. This knife is just blazing sharp, and it's so nice for slicing this chicken. All right. Okay, then we're going to take our beautiful sauce that we made a few minutes ago. And I like to just take and pour it right out onto this platter. We're doing this in a family-style format. So I'm going to put the sauce right out on the plate. And I like it to be mounded up a little bit, and then the liquid will run out, and it will look pretty, but also provide some height that we can set our chicken against, okay? So I'm going to take this chicken now. I'm going to just pick it up and move it over here. And the idea is to fan it out just a little bit so it looks pretty. And all of our consecutive slices will be shown off. And then I've got a little bit of our fresh basil chiffonade that we used our Asian utility knife from Wusthof for. Makes a beautiful garnish on top. I'm just going to sprinkle as much as you like. I love fresh sweet basil, so I'm not holding back. And it looks very nice. And there you have it, our finished dish, Chicken Provençal.
Check out the other videos in this Wusthof Knife Series in order to see the components that went into creating this beautiful dish, Chicken Provençal. You can also purchase the fresh garlic seasoning salts we use to flavor the dish at Culinary Apple or at our website, chefekandca.com.